Alright, this is Gordo from Green Comfort Living showing you how to get off rusted on rotors. So I went on YouTube. I started this project about 2 days ago. I got the passenger side off, but I went on YouTube to find ways to get rusted on rotors, and everyone's like, oh, get these specialty tools or go out and buy bolts and whatnot. Well, I don't have bolts on hand. It's not like I'm Mr. Wranglestar and I have Granddaddy's bolt box, but I'm going to show you how to get these off with just using the hardware from the actual project. So these are the actual caliper mounting pins. So I'm going to a little disclaimer right now. Use this at your own discretion. It should work on most vehicles, but the problem with this, by doing this, is you might wreck the threads on the actual bolt itself. So when we do this, when we're actually going to put it on, we're actually going to evenly torque both sides, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. So we minimize the risk of actually stripping out these threads. Okay, so we're going to get started right now. So for me, I'm going to be using an 18mm socket to get these on. As you can see, the actual bolt will travel all the way through the actual socket itself, so it's going to actually press up against the rotor. When you're doing this, like I said, disclaimer, be careful that you do not wreck your threads while you do this. This is just something you need to work in a pinch. You know, I don't have a second car to go to the store and get bolts to do this job. This is just something you can do real quick to get it done. I did it a couple days ago. It worked really well. So what we're going to do is we're going to get both of these bolts. A lot of rust in there, so I want to take it easy getting in here. Push all that rust out. See it fall on there? I don't know if you can. Hopefully you guys can see this. You know what? I think the tire rock's on the way. Alright, maybe that's a little better. I don't know. Alright, so we're going to take the bolt in. We're going to press it just so it's touching, putting just a little bit of tension on the rotor. We're going to do the top. Oh, it's so tight in here. So when this thing cracks loose, it's gonna dynamite. It's gonna be loud. Oh, so much corrosion. I live in Canada. We're put salt on the roads. Alright, got her through, a little easier now. Okay, now, all we're going to do now, we're going to go to the top, put pressure, bottom, put pressure, top, put pressure, bottom, put pressure, until we hear it go pop. So a little pressure on the top, move to the bottom, a little pressure. I'm going to move my head out of the way because this is going to be loud. A little pressure, back to the top. Back to the bottom. Back to the top. Just like putting on lug nuts. You know, there she goes. Alright, now we've broken the rotor free, so now what we're going to do is we're going to back these off real quick, and we got her free. Okay, so we're going to back these off. Now, little disclaimer now, we're only halfway there. We're only 50% of getting this bad boy off. So I've neglected my brakes for quite a while. So what happens is, I'll go get my other rotor real quick. I don't know if this happens in the state as much, but what's going to happen is inside of this rotor, it's going to build up full of rust and salt and corrosion. And the emergency brake for these, well, I'm pretty sure it's for every vehicle, works just like a drum. It has two pads that push out, and with all that corrosion up on the inside, this, as you can see, it's not coming off because that corrosion is up against that pad and it's stopping it from coming out. So this is where you still need to do a little bit of wiggle and a jiggle to get it off. Make sure when you're doing this, because I know mine are at the top and the bottom, I'm going to try and go side to side, because you don't want to put too much pressure at the top or pulling on the bottom, because you don't want to pull those pads out or damage the drum brake that's in here for your emergency brakes, and then you're going to have a bigger problem. Alright, so I'm going to come back and I'm going to wiggle with this thing back and forth, and then I'll bring you back in. Alright, so I had to resort to a 3-pound hammer, because this is the driver's side and there was just so much corrosion built up in the actual rotor. So I took a hammer, I bang, 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 lots of rust fell, and then I just kept going with my crowbar technique, and I'm just about to get off the hub here. So I kind of want to catch it on camera so you guys can see. So still doing my wiggle, like still on there pretty good. Here we go. There it goes. There we go. Whew. Only took about 15 minutes, so I don't know if you can see all that. See all that broken, corroded, salt, dirt, grimy crap. So basically, so I'll show you right here so you can have a comparison. This is the passenger side one I took off a couple days ago. Had to put it back on because I didn't have the right rotor, so I cleaned all of that up. See how clean I got it with the wire brush and my hammer? And then compared to this, I don't know if you can see that, how much crap and buildup is all up on that. Okay, so we got that all apart. Set those aside and go to the scrap pile. And look at that. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna start cleaning. Alright, this is Gordo from Green Comfort Living, and I hope this helped you. Thank you.